Hey, so I've mentioned quite a few times that I really like to read and that I have been reading quite a bit more lately. Just in the past month or so, I've really picked up the habit again, pick up a book and just read all of it, pretty much. Um, on my days off, that's kind of just what I do now. So I mostly just talk to my husband about the books that I'm reading and they entail and what's happening in them and my opinions on them. And I'm sure he gets tired of it. But anyway, one day he was like, you should do book review videos. And at first I was like, probably not, because I never liked to do book reviews like in school and stuff. That was just never something that I was into. I was like, I want to read the book. I don't want to have to tell you about it. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it doesn't have to be like some fancy school book review. This is just going to be my thoughts and my opinions, and maybe try to get some people to read these books because they're really great and should be read by more people, honestly. And I'm sure we'll get to some because I'm going to keep doing this that maybe I don't like and maybe I don't think should be read by tons and tons of people. But that's going to be my opinion, and so that's what this is. So today we're going to start with one that I've mentioned quite a few times that I'm reading, that I've already read, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone. So I love this book. I love this series. It's by Laini Taylor, amazing author. So just a bit of a summary of the book. It starts out, it's basically our world, Earth, exactly the same as it is. It starts out in Prague. Starts out in our world, except there's another world attached to it. So like there's Earth, and then there's like this other world, which we eventually learn is called Eretz. If I say things wrong, I'm sorry. I only speak English. I read it how it is spelt and stuff in the books. So whatever. So this world that is attached to Earth has angels, which are the seraphim, and demons, which are the chimera. So Karu, the main character, knows nothing about this other world except for her little family of chimera that she's lived with. So Brimstone, Yazri, Twiga, and Issa. Why did I forget Issa? She's like a major character through this entire series. Anyway, so she knows nothing of the chimera. She knows nothing of angels. She doesn't even know that they exist. She just knows her little basic family. And so we kind of learn more about everyone as the story goes on. She knows that they can do magic. She knows that they deal wishes in exchange for teeth. So a lot of what she does for Brimstone whenever he has her run errands is like goes out to different countries and to different places in the world through his magic portal thing, and goes to people who collect the teeth. How they get them is up for determination, because some of them it says like, this lady is a diamond dealer, and so she has access to all these people. She can get whatever she wants, pretty much. Some people it says are like grave robbers, so they'll go and dig up bodies and get the teeth from them. Some of them, however, are not as nice, and it mentions one time that Karu got shot because she tried to save these girls who had had their teeth stolen. I don't even know. I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers. That's just a little like background information in the book that's like, these people are awful, pretty much. So she doesn't really know how he makes the wishes. She doesn't know any of that. She just knows that he does, and he gives people wishes in exchange for teeth, and she can't use these wishes because Brimstone says no. Hope is the real magic. So suddenly she's out on a mission for him. She's trying to get more teeth because he's running low and he needs more for whatever purpose. And so she's out at a market going to one of their nicer people that they get teeth from. And suddenly there's an angel. And this is kind of where she learns about the existence of angels. But she sees him and is like, I feel like I know him. But also, I don't know him. And oh my god, he's trying to kill me. Basically, is it. So she gets thrown into this world and has to figure out about this war between angels and demons. And she has to figure out everything with the little bit of knowledge that she's gotten from Brimstone, she has to figure out who she really is because she doesn't really know. She feels like something's missing, and she's just like, what's happening? What is all this stuff? Like, whatever. So basically, the first book is like introduces sort of a Romeo and Juliet type of dynamic between Karu and Akiva, the angel that tried to kill her earlier. Um, so they know each other. They can't be together because she's the human that's with the monsters, and he's obviously on the side of the angels. He's sympathetic toward the Chimera, but he's still obviously has to fight for these angels because he is one and whatever. So she wants to be with Akiva, but she's like, Brimstone can't be wrong. Like, he's not bad. I've lived with him. He's raised me. Like, I love him. He's basically her dad. Yeah. And then the end is tragic, and I cried a lot. I'm not going to go too far into that because read the book, figure that out yourself. You're going to cry. Oh my god. But it's so good. So the characters are all described really, really well. I love the writing style of this book, and just the description, because you get a really good feel for the characters. So Karu has blue hair, grows like that because she wished for it. She knows all these different languages, but yeah, you get like a super good feel, like, how she is, her personality, what she kind of looks like, and then her friends, you get a really good feel for them too. So there's Susanna, who is like a pixie. She's like a doll. She's small, but she's fierce, and you don't want to mess with her because even though she's small, like, she will mess you up. The setting is also described really well. So like I said, I've never been to Prague. I don't really know what Prague looks like, but I can only assume because of how it's described and like the magic of it and kind of what it looks like. And I've seen some areas that I think kind of help shape my picture of it. I'm a very visual reader, so when I read, I like to picture what's happening and sort of make my own movie in my head. So I really like a variety of books. So I mentioned I like classic books all the way to like sci-fi kind of supernatural books. So this is a lot more on like the supernatural sort of end of that, which obviously because it's like angels and demons and stuff. So I went through a time in high school where I was very much into supernatural books and angels and demons and like mortal instruments, and that's all the kind of things that I was reading. And that's when I found this book series. And I did read, so I have read this book before, but it's been quite a few years. And so when I found it last year, I was like, I have to get it. And I finally got around to reading it a couple weeks ago, and obsessed. Love it. Glad that I picked it back up, and I'm glad that I found it originally because it's so much better, I feel like, the second time, as I have more of like a knowledge of just the world and kind of how things are going. And it's a really good like escape that's still relatable to things that are going on. Okay, like I said, I love the writing style of this. The chapters are split up between Karu and Akiva, and I think there may be a few chapters from other people's perspective, but it goes like, this chapter is Akiva, this chapter is Karu, this chapter is Akiva, and it kind of switches back and forth. So it's cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger, and that's how it keeps you reading. So I finished this whole book in one day because I finished a chapter and then it went to the next person. I was like, well, I have to know what happens because that Karu everything just happened, and it was, and I have to get back to that character. So then I have to read the next chapter so I can figure out what happened to that character. But that middle chapter, in Akiva's point of view, something happens to him at the end of it. So I have to finish the next chapter about Karu so I can get back to Akiva. And it's just on and on and on. So it's just like cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. You have to know what happens to these people. There's no like stopping point in the middle of the book, which I love. Like, that's such a good way to get people to keep going in the book. And it took me a few hours, but I finished the entire thing. I sat out on my patio and just read the entire book in one day. It was just so good. You just can't put it down. So I don't have any complaints about the first book. I love it so, so, so much, and I will probably read it again after I read everything else. I'm reading a new series right now, so we'll see. I've already finished the series, and I'm going to talk about the other books in the next couple videos, so stay tuned for that. Definitely go read this book. I've given it 5 stars. I don't really have a specific rating system. Probably most of these books are going to be 5 stars, unless I read like Moby Dick or something, in which case it's going to be a 1 star. But I'm not going to read that because I don't like that book. So 5 stars. Read the book. Love it. If you have other books that you want me to read, let me know down below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share your thoughts on this book when you read it, because it's so good. And I only know like one other person who's read it that I can talk to about it. So let me know. Bye.